Hey y'all, I just wanted to make a little video to show you what I do to meal prep. I know some girls have struggled with it. It's not easy. It took me a whole round to finally get it down, so I just want to show you what I do. It's pretty simple. I'm not going to make all the food, and I'm on plan A, so I'm substituting a lot of different meats because I don't really eat beef and some other things that are on there. So I have chicken, ground turkey, a pork loin, and that's pretty much it. But I'm going to use these asparagus in place of whatever green was supposed to be in there for this week. I'm going to steam these up though, because that's just so much easier. It's less time consuming. You literally don't have to do anything. And that's my biggest thing. Use your appliances, use your oven, get a steamer. I mean, it's your best friend, a crock pot, whatever you do, like whatever you don't need to be babysitting your food. And I'm gonna throw some carrots in there also. Oops. I need that. So gross. That catches the water. Okay. Throw some carrots in there too. Hopefully this sucker closes. Okay. And the plan calls for acorn squash and spaghetti squash. So I already cut them in half. I'm already gutted them with a spoon, and I'm going to throw them just on a pan. But before I do that, this is key. We need to do this so they come out. It's kind of gross. Stick my finger in there. You have to rub them all down and get them all moist. It's like super important, or else they're not going to come out soft and delicious. I'm like fingering my coconut oil. So, and after I do that, I really don't put salt and pepper on there since we're not really supposed to. I just leave them bland, but you can put your, oh, technically we're not supposed to use salt. You can use your seasonings. I'm not going to put anything. And I pop them in for about, on 380 for about, like, they need to be in there for an hour. So they cook themselves. You just leave them in there for an hour, and the oven does all the work for you. But you need to be generous with the coconut oil, so I've noticed, or else it just might come out dry, and then that's no fun. It just won't be enjoyable. I'm using this Mrs. Dash. It doesn't have any sodium or anything like that. This is the table blend. And I'm just going to pop these in the oven. Ooh. And I'm going to put those on a timer for 25 minutes since my oven's pretty high right now. Okay. And while that's going, we're going to do the pork loin chop thingies. I don't know what they are. Gotta really pay attention to everything. Kind of dried up. Once you get it started, once you get going, it gets easier. Gotta sneeze. Go away. Okay, I'm gonna let this get a little bit more browned, and then I'm gonna toss in those tomatoes. I wouldn't say this stuff necessarily needs seasoning. The tomatoes I bought are a Mexican recipe, so they have Mexican seasoning in them. I'm pretty sure they have salt, so it's just some things that are an exception. I'm good. Okay, so when I'm spraying my skillet, I didn't mention this before, but I'm using this avocado oil spray. It doesn't have, ooh, wrong burner. I always do that. Something's burning. It doesn't have anything in it. I don't even know how that's possible, but it does the trick. No fat, no calories. So I layer it on there, and I'm gonna throw these bad boys on there already. I'm not a fan of meat. I'm not even gonna lie, y'all. Lisa knows. I'm like, it's for Raymond, I think. Maybe. We'll see. Okay, so I'm gonna throw the stewed tomatoes in there. And now you might have to drain this at the end because there is a little bit of water buildup. I don't know if it's from the turkey itself or the tomatoes. I love my tomatoes, so I'm putting on a lot. I need an apron. Okay. So while this is cooking, just mix it around a little bit, and then I would put it on, just simmer it on low. I mean, this is a lot. To me, I mean, for me, this is a lot. Like, this is gonna last me all week and then some, for sure. I mean, if you're making for, you know, you and your husband and your kids, I would get 2 of these pans going, or if you have a bigger pan, just get more meat, more tomatoes. It's just too easy. There doesn't really need to be any measuring. The measuring doesn't come in until we start doing the portion containers, and if you don't have those, I'm pretty sure you just measure it with a measuring cup. I'm not sure how that works, but with those containers, it's just so easy. It's really easy. Okay, I'm gonna let this sit there for a little bit. I need to baby these guys. I guess I'll get some real seasoning for Raymundo. Ugh, it's so heavy. Okay. And while this is all happening, I mean, all this food is cooking itself. I mean, there's no reason to not meal prep, in my opinion, if you want to have a foolproof program. I mean, those are going to be cooking for the next like 50 minutes. This is good for another like 25 minutes. I've got another 15 minutes on my veggies. I need to buy more veggies, but I'm not done with those. I'm going to go to the grocery store and get more, but I just dump them all in there. I dump everything in my steamer. If not, you can roast them. I roasted Brussels sprouts last week, so I'm kind of done with the Brussels sprouts. I ate them every single day. So I'm done with those this week. I'm going to switch to something else, see what I find at the grocery store. Something that, you know, I think I would like and I can eat for the rest of the week. But other than that, this all takes under like 40 minutes. Okay, y'all. I laid out all the food and I put out the containers. This is gonna be for the lunch on Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. And that is the 1 protein, the 1 green of lettuce, and the salad dressing, and half cup of the cucumbers. So the half cup of cucumbers. Oh, okay, so it's gonna be like half a cup. We're gonna throw some of these in. I wanted to mix it up, so I wanted to put in some shredded carrots as well. And that's about half. A little bit more. I'm gonna put it to the side because it's kind of moist. I don't want it making my lettuce all mushy early on. For the most part, my salads stay good. I only need them for 4 days out of the week. So I on Fridays I make my own lunch because I'm not working, but I can throw all these in. I mean, these containers are everything. Like, you need them. You need this Tupperware life. Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of mess, you know, on the weekends, but it really pays off to have all this. It keeps you on track. I have found that it helps me so much. I have yet to buy lunch at work. So, okay, so these are the salads. I haven't put that in yet. I actually wait to the date of or the night before, and I'll put the chicken in the corner because, like I said, I don't want to wilt my lettuce. And the avocado is going to be this container. I actually measured everything out just for future reference. I measured everything out, like the lettuce in here. And I think we get half. On one day we get half a blue, which you can use cheese or whatever. So yeah, I need a spoon. I'm just gonna measure it in here. It's like the easiest way to do it. You gotta make sure these portions are right, guys. I mean, it's key. Otherwise, you're just not gonna see the results as well if you're not doing the portion control. It is a little bit of avocado, but it is what it is, right? Look at that beautiful avocado. It's perfect. Perfection. Right on time. So yeah, this is a very little bit of avocado. You know, I'd eat that whole thing if I had the chance. That's not how it works this week. But yeah, that is perfect. I'm actually running out of memory on my camera, so that's why I'm trying to rush through this, but you get the idea. So, touch it with my hands. Fork. Just trying to rush, but you pretty much get the idea. We're going to just measure everything in here. These containers are everything. Oh my god, this is just ridiculous. My hands are clean, so whatevs. You can't overfill it because it has to be able to close. Okay, so there's one green, and then you would put your chicken in there. So I've come to find, I think it's about like 2.5 of those little guys. And out of memory, like I thought it would. So I kind of went ahead, I kind of showed you all everything with the portion containers and how to do it, you know, using these and just dumping these guys in, measuring everything. But there was also something else, the way Lisa had said Luby style. This is what she means by Luby style. I mean, I dumped in I could do this some days. I dump all my veggies in here. I'm also going to scrape that spaghetti squash. Just dump everything in here, or get a different, you know, one if you don't like them to touch. And when you're ready to eat, you just portion it out, or the night before you portion your meal out, and bam, you have it. Like, it's just so easy. And that would be what Lisa calls Luby style. So that's another way. That's pretty easy. I do both because it helps me for dinner, because I don't feel like measuring out and dirtying, you know, more Tupperware for dinner. So that's basically what I do. And that pretty much concluded the video. I really hope that this helped.